Welcome back, Captains. This is Stark with Starfleet Special Command. I am here today with the relaunch of the YouTube channel. We got a new look, new graphics, got a new intro video up. But I'm here today. We're going to be going over this Tactical Command Battle Cruiser. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from the top like I always do. And as we go through looking at everything that this build entails, kind of throw in little bits and pieces of what's happened over the past 9 months. So this is going to be an off-the-cuff kind of review. And basically we're just going to go ahead and get started and see where it goes. Alright, if you remember from my earlier videos, pretty much the last probably year or so, I've been running phasers after I got away from the Netite disruptors. Right after Delta Rising, the crafting system hit and the upgrading system hit, so everybody jumped on the crit D ×4 weapons. That was the flavor of the month back then, and that has held true till probably about the past month, 2 months or so, as I'm showing you right here, the damage ×3 damage mod got a major boost to it in the way that damage is calculated. From what I understand, it's applying that damage at the very end of the long calculation. So basically what it's doing is really boosting the weapons a lot. From what I'm hearing from the top guys is that most of them are either running the crit D ×3 pins, or they're moving on to the damage ×3 pins. This is what I've seen, this is the cheaper route of the two. If you have messed with any crafting, as I have, crafting the crit D ×4 weapons, it is very, very, very expensive to get them all to epic, and a lot of times it's very expensive just to get them to go ultra rare. Even with the experimental upgrades and the research accelerators, gives you a 20% chance to upgrade. It's still pretty difficult to get the things you need. In some cases it's actually cheaper to go to the exchange and buy the weapon or buy the beam that you need or want. But so what I did was when I heard that damage was getting a boost, I went ahead and bought these damage ×3 crit D advanced phaser beam rays from the fleet store. So this one right here actually went epic with about 2% chance I got a lucky crit. I tend to get some of those every once in a while. But what I did is I went ahead and I bought 7 of them. So I had one that crit and went epic, and the rest of them are ultra rares, Mark 14s. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Up front here, we have the Neutronic Torpedo. This is a nasty torpedo. It's probably, if not the strongest torpedo in the game right now. As we get into the build a little bit more, I'll exaggerate on what's actually going on and what people are using and doing with Neutronic Torpedoes. This one is a Mark 14. This is ultra rare. These things take quite a bit to get to go ultra rare also. Alright, from here we can go ahead into the 4-piece space set. As of right now, I moved from the Nucara set. I was running the Nucara 3-piece and the Romulan engines. When the Iconium Resistance set came out, a lot of the guys started running the full 4-piece, and some of them are running the 3-piece. Before my latest update, I was actually running the whole complete 4-piece. But let's take a look at this real quick. This is the Iconium Resistance Deflector Ray Mark 14. This one is a very rare. Next, I have the Warp Core, Iconium Resistance Hyper Injection Warp Core Mark 14. This is also a very rare. Next, we got the Iconium Resistance Resilient Shield Array Mark 14. This one is an ultra rare. This is one of the crits that I got pretty lucky on getting this one to crit. And then for the impulse engines, I'm running the Romulan Advanced Prototype Impulse Engines for the +30 to the Starship attack patterns. Alright, if we come up here to the deflector array, we'll just grab the info tab and you can see the 2- and 3-piece bonuses for the set. Set 2's enhanced shield distribution, and the 3-piece set, when firing energy weapons, 5% chance, plus 15% all energy damage for 8 seconds to allies within 10 kilometers. Stacks up to 3 times. If everybody on your team is running this, it helps out quite a bit. And then if you do have the 4-piece set, you get the Radiant Subatomic Pulse. You get plus 33 damage for 30 seconds. plus 20 maximum hull, and plus 10. What I noticed with this, some of the guys were setting that off on the first cube, and it was messing with my go down fighting, so I got them to knock that off for a little bit, and actually seeing a little bit, I could start getting my go down fighting again. But since then, I'll go ahead now and introduce one of the guys that helped me out a lot on this build. He's actually another YouTuber. His name is Timberwolf1701. Please go to his YouTube channel and check him out. He's part of the STO Continuum. All those guys are great guys. They've helped me out a lot tweaking this build. Before I enlisted their help, which they were so graciously able to help me with that, and they did without question. Sure, man, just ask what you need and we'll help you out. My build for this ship was sitting somewhere between 75 to 80k, and I went on to their TeamSpeak, dropped a STO Academy link in to TeamSpeak showing off my build, and said, hey guys, what can I do to optimize this with what I have? And he gave me 3 or 4 pointers to move some stuff around, to start there and see what happens, and I noticed a considerable increase in DPS. As we get further in, I'll go ahead and explain that a little bit further. But like I said, Timberwolf, he's a great guy. He helped me out a lot, and I really appreciate his help. This was one of the things that he had said, was that he was getting better results running the Romulan advanced prototype because of that plus 30 attack pattern, Starship attack patterns that also busts attack pattern alpha, and as well as the attack pattern beta that I'm running, so it helped out quite a bit. Let's go into the consoles. We've got the Plasmonic Leech, Tachyokinetic Converter. This one has been upgraded to ultra rare. That's a Lobby console. This Bio-Neural Infusion Circuits is also a Lobby console, upgraded to ultra rare. The old favorite, the Assimilated Module, upgraded to ultra rare. And then the old Plasma Generating Weapon Signature Nullifiers from the Fleet Embassy. These are the plus flow versions. Decreased threat generation by 75% while active, plus 37.5 flow capacitors. That helps with your Plasmonic Leech, getting some more power from the Leech. The other side of this is the Plasma Explosion. It adds a Plasma Explosion proc to energy weapons, 2.5% chance as it sits right now to deal 4,523.6 plasma damage, and that damage ignores shields. Right now I'm getting anywhere between probably 8 to 14k, sometimes a little bit higher with running 2 of them. A lot of guys are running 3 of them. But I've upgraded 2 to Epic right now. These are fairly easy to get to go Epic. Next console is going to be the Temporal Disentanglement Suite. It's a rather interesting little console. It's basically like adding another Tachyokinetic with some added benefit right there. Adds some more auxiliary power, added shield capacity. It also adds 0 to 2.5% critical chance based on your auxiliary power level. And then it also adds 0 to 10% critical severity based on your auxiliary power level. It also reduces damage to shields by 3%. Have been testing this, moving it between having 3 or 2 of the Plasma Generating Weapon Signature Nullifiers. I haven't quite decided on which one I'm going to leave in there, but that's where it's sitting right now. Then for tactical consoles, Mark 14, that's the vulnerability locators. It adds the 37.5 phaser damage and 1.9% critical chance. I have 4 of those. In my hangar bay, running the Hangar Elite Scorpion Fighters. Let's go ahead and hit the bridge officer stations. Right now, I know I said I'd never do this in some of my older videos, the Superior Romulan Operatives. Let's go ahead and pick up one of those and look at him real quick. This is why everybody gets them. Crit chance and crit severity. Plus 2% critical chance, plus 5% critical severity. It also adds that plus 15 power recharge speed for cloaking. I Said I'd never jump on the bandwagon and do it, but I finally did it. When I had to go ahead, I hit a plateau and really couldn't get any more out of my stuff, so I had to start doing something. So I started here. Went ahead and I bought 3 of them and been running them pretty much ever since. And back to our bridge officer abilities. For my Lieutenant Commander, running Beamfire at Will 3, Attack Pattern Beta 1, and then Chemosite Laced Weaponry. This is an expensive ability. You can get it off the change. It come out of one of the lock boxes. I believe that was the... I'll think about it here in a minute. But the Chemosite Laced Weaponry enhances your weapons for 10 seconds to apply on hit. 737.4 radiation damage to foes within 1 kilometer radius. Minus 10 all damage resistant rating to foes in 1 kilometer radius. Energy weapons have a 10% chance to trigger, but projectiles will always cause an explosion. With Neutronic Torpedoes and Chemosite Laced Weaponry, I have seen anywhere between running 1 copy of chemo. Multiple copies of chemo is bugged right now, but running 1 copy of chemo and Neutronic Torpedo, I'm seeing close to probably 8 to 10k DPS from Chemosite, and another probably same from the Neutronic Torpedo. So it is a big boost in DPS right now. And it also depends on which targets you're shooting at. If you're running Infected Space, ISA, and you catch a group of spears that have either been grav weld or they are just spawned and they are very tight together, it will wreck them, absolutely wreck them, with the explosions between Neutronic and the Chemosite Laced Weaponry. For my second Superior Romulan Operative, I am running Torpedo Spread 2 and Tactical Team 1. For my Engineering Bridge Officers, running 2 copies of Engineering Team 1, Auxiliary Power to the Structural Integrity Field 1, and Emergency Power to Weapons 2 and 3. 2 there, and 3 there, and a Reverse Shield Polarity 3. This is one of the changes that Timberwolf suggested to me, and I have not done this in years, running just 2 copies of Emergency Power to Weapons. I've always ran maybe a Emergency Power to Weapons 3 and then an Emergency Power to Shields 2, and then run the 3 Damage Control Engineers to get that uptime for both shields and weapons power. This right here also contributed to my very, very, very large increase in DPS. I'll show you the parts from that later. For my science, I got Hazard Emitters 1 and Science Team 2. Since we're still talking about the bridge officer abilities, if you come over here and look at Tray 6, this is my keybind. I have the Emergency Power to Weapons, Tactical Team, Attack Pattern Beta, Chemosite Laced Weaponry 1, Fire at Will 3, and Torp Spread 2, and then my launch fighters all on my spacebar keybind. Alright, from here, let's go ahead and hit the skill set. This is the same skill set that I have been running for probably going on 2 years now. I have some minor changes in there, and after talking with Timberwolf also, he had also said that there's a couple things in here that I could change to probably optimize my power levels a little bit more and to squeeze out a little bit more DPS. I'm going to have a respec, and the only one I'm going to be able to get it is to use Zen. I don't have any more left for my leveling on this character, so just kind of show you what's going on here and how I have everything set up. We'll see how things go. I might do a respec, I might not yet. Just depends on how things go. Alright, here's the new thing. When they did the level cap raise to 60, they added all of these captain specializations. Right now I'm running intelligence as my primary and pilot as my secondary. I have everything unlocked except for this group of ground over here. I don't do much ground playing, so but the main reason I'm using the intelligence as my primary is to get this right here, the intelligence fleet 2. And slowly I'll go ahead and unlock the rest of these. For my pilot, I have everything done on my pilot. And command officer, I've been just tinkering with that. I haven't used any of it yet. And I have not done any of the ground commandos yet. Alright, let's talk about traits real quick. Personal traits. I know there are a lot of personal traits that I do not have on my captain, and I just cannot bring myself to spend some of the crazy prices that they are asking for some of these captain's traits. But for right now, this is what I'm running, and unless I can get a good deal on some of the other high-end ones, this is probably where it's going to stay for a little while. Astrophysicist, Beam Barrage, Crippling Fire, Techie, Fleet Tactician, Elusive, Point Blank Shot, I like that a lot, Last Ditch Effort, and Warp Theorist. Starship Traits, I am running All Hands on Deck. That is from the Tactical Command Battlecruiser. I can never say this right. Reciprocity. This is from the Intel ship escort, the Phantom. When missed to self, minus 10% recharge time on intelligence and tactical bridge officer abilities. Since I moved away from auxiliary to battery, this is one of the primary ways that I'm reducing cooldowns for my tactical bridge officers. Emergency weapon cycle. This is from the Arbiter battlecruiser, which is the tier 6 Avenger. And for lack of having something else better to stick right here, I'm running the Ablative Field Projector. I actually like this a lot. Basically what it does, your shield healing bridge officer abilities provide a small amount of temporary hit points on target. This buff stacks up to 3 times. So basically anytime that you hit Science Team, it's going to give you that temporary hit points on the hull. That can help out a lot, especially when you're riding that go down fighting really low. It helps out. Space Reputation. These pretty much have not changed with me at all. Running the Precision for the critical chance. Advanced targeting systems for the crit severity. Auxiliary power configuration defense and offense. One of the things that Timberwolf said was to drop the defense one and add, let's get in here, right there, the enhanced armor penetration. What I'm probably going to do is I'm just going to hold off on that until I get this 5th space reputation slot, throw that in there, then I can have what I liked having there, and then his suggestion, I can have them both in there. I have not played around with it yet. That's one thing that I have not done, was swap that out and test that yet. As I'm sure it's going to help out. And ground reputation, I really don't care about ground reputation that much. And space reputation. Go ahead and give you an update on my reputation. I am tier 5 on everything. Everything has been maxed out. Everything's good to go there. Alright, let's get out of this. Alright, real quick, just going to go over my tray setup right here. A lot of guys, you can do this however you want to. This is just the way that I've been doing it for the past three years or so. What I try to do is all my big buffs, I keep them on the top bar. I kind of group the reinforcements, fleet support, Nimbus Pirate Distress Call, my brace for impact, and my subspace field modulator. I group all those together, and then I group my shield heals, and then my hull heals together, and then my batteries, and then my reputation abilities. I kind of group everything together. This has worked for me. My suggestion to y'all is if you want to do something like this, just put the stuff where you like. you know, where it's easy for you to access. Either some people like to use the Alt, Shift, Control buttons to activate. I just come through and click them. Go back in here real quick, and I want to explain something about the emergency weapon cycle. Emergency weapon cycle and plasma leech help out a lot with power levels. There's another ability called Supremacy. I've been told that with emergency weapon cycle and Supremacy, you can actually drop plasmonic leech, because you get just as much power from those as you do a leech, if not more. With that trait being as expensive as it is, it's actually shipability. I can't do it. I just got to stay away from it for at least for right now. And as I plateau off again, I probably will go ahead and pick it up, but we'll just have to wait for that day to come. Alright guys, there is the Tactical Command Battlecruiser. I want to thank everybody for being patient with me the last probably 9 months. As a lot of you know, the lag situation that came across right after Delta Rising was launched, it caused some very hectic parsing days for me trying to do ship builds. It got to the point where I just didn't even want to do it anymore because of the lag. Couldn't get a good parse. You maybe get it one, you wouldn't get one. It was a really big headache. But since then, things have kind of leveled out. We got season 11 getting ready to launch. As of right now, like I said, this ship started out as right at 75 to 80k, and after Timberwolf's help, it has far exceeded that. I will show that parse here shortly. Like I said, I want to thank everybody for hanging around. Please like the video if you liked it. Leave comments in the comment section. Let me know what I could do better. Anything that you would like to see. Open to any kind of suggestions, criticisms that y'all have. Like I said, guys, I really appreciate it. We'll go ahead and get on out of here. I'll drop the parses. What I'm going to do with the parses, I'll show the progression. What this ship was averaging before I received Timberwolf's help, and then what I was getting after I made those changes that he suggested. Like I said, I want to go ahead and thank him again for his help. I really appreciate that. And y'all stop by him and STO Continuum's YouTube pages and check out some of the videos, because they are a lot more knowledgeable than I am about some of this stuff. These guys are great. But y'all take it easy. Y'all just depart out.